This is Galleon's 440 Fly, and this, as is always way with Galleon, packs an awful lot into a compact form. It's a flybridge boat, hence the name. You can see that obviously because the flybridge is on top of there. One of the things we noticed with this is it has the new window line, this really swoopy line that follows all the way through. That's a fairly new feature on these, and all the Galleons coming out now have got this. As ever with Galleon, it's full of very clever features. And one of them is the fact that this is a drop balcony. You can see how it comes along here and up there, and that whole thing powers down. I'll show you that in just a moment. But if I wander you around the other side, take you around the other side, that's basically what it does. And then you have these rails that go into it, and that massively increases the space across the back of the boat. It's a high-low platform. We've got the ladder here as well, of course, and this will take, I think it'll take a Williams jet rib for sure, apparently. There is also this ladder, so as it lowers into the water, you basically end up with steps down into the water, which is rather a nice touch. And I think this one has, I think it's an option, but this boat has it, is the barbecue at the back of the boat. Which I can't open. Why can't I open that? Ah, here we go, because I didn't push the little button. There we go. I'll edit that out later, obviously. So barbecue there, sink, and that little chap is another sink. There we go. And in fact there's bits of storage as well down underneath here, canopies, that kind of thing. Absolutely ideal. There we go. Let's drop that one back down and we'll press on a bit further. I'll show you how these balconies activate. Actually, they're really easy. There is a locating pin, so when they're in this position you can lock them in this position, but with that released as it is at the minute, there's a button here, there's an activation button you have to press, and then we can push the down button and that just powers down like that. I won't take it all the way down, but you get the idea. Let's bring it back up. There we go, perfect. Okay, we're going to head on inside. Worth mentioning before we do so, this cockpit area, because this is quite a nice feature. This backrest here folds the other way, which is great. When you've got this balcony down, you can sit there looking out across the water. Also, of course, fantastic if you had a row with whoever sat there. Table here, which unfolds, so you can double the size of that. Brilliant for dining around it, of course. And then we've got the overhang here with a bit of lighting concealed within it, which is rather nice. And also the canopy goes, and you can see the zip here, so you can zip a canopy section in and enclose this whole back area. These doors fold right to the edge. You can see it here, so rather than just being sliding doors, they actually come across and sort of like bifold doors really, I suppose. So that really connects these two areas together. And again with the seating, same as we saw on that other one, you can do this, and then that gives a really nice area where you can sit there, you're under the shelter of the cabin, facing backwards out over the water. That's absolutely lovely, and of course very social with this as well, apart from this guy who's still sulking. Let's put that back. There we go. Let's head on inside now. As ever with Galleon, a lot of choices with regard to the woodwork in terms of colour, whether it's high gloss, whether it's a matte. This is a matte finish in this one. Light switches are here. We've got some of the distribution panel stuff here. Stereos in there as well. Those little chaps there are air conditioning controls. There we go. Let's close that. A little bit of storage there. It's tiny because that's a high-low TV, so that comes up out of there, and a bit of storage up above it as well. It's got that nice Galleon lighting, which looks like it's flashing on the GoPro, but isn't in real life. If I stand very still, will it stop? No, it won't. Okay, trust me, that's completely smooth in real life. Big windows, so they're dropping all the way down, and you can imagine with that balcony down as well, just what a great view you get from here out over the water. We'll head forward a bit further. Galley is up on this one. There's an interesting configuration to the lower deck, which I'll talk about when we get there, but the galley is up, and this is giving you usual kind of drawers, and there's the sink underneath that one. You've got the 2-burner hob, you've got the oven underneath. Fridge is just there. And then again, lots of bits of storage dotted around all over. All very, very helpful. But it's quite nice this, because when you're here, of course, and people are here and you're entertaining and chatting and making some food, it's a nice area, everyone's together, you've got a good view out. That's fantastic. Helm position then is over here, double helm as you can see. They've done this nice pod here to put the instrumentation into, and it's all flush mounted. Look at this across here. That's fantastic. This one's got the Raymarine Axiom, also the Volvo Penta display there for the engines, and you've got more of the switch gear here. So lighting, navigation lights, engine room blowers, wipers, all that kind of thing, all switched from there. Autopilot on this boat, quite a high spec on this boat actually. Engine controls and the zip wake trim tab controls are there. And the other thing that you can see here is this fantastic side door. So not only does it give you a load of ventilation, it also means that when you're at the helm here, it's really easy to stick your head out, have a look. In fact, you can stand on this side deck when you bring the boat in, because your engine controls are right here. So dead easy to get to. Very nice. We'll have a wander around the deck, of course, in a moment, but we're going to head down first of all, take a look at the lower deck. Now, the big news with this lower deck is the fact that, very unusually for a mid 40-foot Flybridge boat, this is a 3-cabin layout. So what we've got is your VIP guest cabin up here in the bow, like so. A lot of this again is very configurable, so not just the colour of the woodwork, but things like the headboards and the lighting and that kind of stuff. You get a lot of choices with that. Big hull windows, look at the size of these. Great view out of the Southampton Boat Show today. And then again, obviously, with your storage illuminated there. They've also given you access to behind the scenes very easily with these little fellas. So they open like that. So battery switches, I think, are for the bow thruster and circuit breakers and that kind of stuff. Here we go. That's all tucked away in there. And indeed, underneath there as well, to get access to things like the air conditioning system. That's that one. There's more storage here, more storage here. Not going to open it all because we'll be here all day. And that comes around like that. Now, if we back out of here, what we'll find is the day heads is just here. So we've got the loo obviously, and that area closes off as a separate shower area. You can see the glass panels for it there. And the sink, and again, huge windows, really nice. There are blinds, of course, that drop down over those for privacy if you're in the marina. You wouldn't want to keep that like that. And then this is cabin 3. Like so. So bunk beds in here. Again, with that massive hull window. I mean, lying in this bed with that view would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Wardrobe in here. Now, there is an alternative layout. You can have this as a 2-cabin layout, and what that does is it loses this cabin altogether, brings this back a bit, and then I think I'm right in saying you get a bigger heads then on this side, and it uses this area here to make this cabin bigger and gives you a central island bed. If you want to be absolutely certain, have a look on the Galleon website and it'll show you. But certainly there is a 2-cabin option. It does increase the head size. It does give you the central bed. And I think that's how it does it. But either way, the owner's cabin then is back here, and this is a really nice size. So if we drop down into here, this then is giving us that island bed. Again, you've got the options on the lighting on the headboard. You've got storage all the way down here. You can put a TV in here if you want to. Again, with the big hull windows, and more storage over here. And the blinds that drop down, those little square chaps are opening sections, so you can get some natural air into here if you want to. And this has its own ensuite, which I usually forget on a Galleon. I've done it twice, but I've remembered it this time. So this has the proper separate shower in there all to itself. Obviously, owner cabin, you get the best spec in here. You've got the rainfall shower and the wand shower, and then back here, sink, loo, storage in here, waving mirror just here. Fantastic. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. You don't normally get 3 cabins on a boat of this size, of sort of 45 foot or less. That works well. Let's press on. Lots to look at on the outside on this one. We've got the Flybridge to look at, and we've got the engine room to have a look at as well. We need to talk about engines because that's quite interesting. Okay, so back out to the cockpit, and what we'll do slip my shoes back on and have a trundle up this side. So of course with these in the raised position, you've got a lot of protection through here. You really feel like you're in the boat. These are the locking systems here, so these just slide in and make sure that's absolutely secure, which obviously is a good thing. That's that side door that we saw from the helm. You can see how convenient that is, and also how much light and air that gets into there. That works really well. And then we'll head on forward again. We've got a couple of steps up. This will bring us up onto the foredeck. Big one-piece windscreen on this one. And sunbathing up here. Anchor hanging over the bow. Anchor locker then, or anchor chain locker I should say, is not in there. But it is in there. There we go. Like so, anchor winch as well. There we go. That is the sunbathing area. The hatch that we saw over the forward cabin is underneath this one, which is, there we go, it's down underneath there. In fact, those are all skylights down through there, so you can remove that centre one if you want and have the light into there. The other thing that's quite clever is that this one here, if I can remember how it works, yeah, there we go, that lifts up. And there's a backrest you can have for here that goes, it slots into these little fellas, and then that can lift up like that, and the backrest goes here. When you're not using it, it folds flat down into there. Not sure why it's not there, perhaps it's an option, but nonetheless, that is something that you can have. And there she is from here. Fantastic. Let's press on back a bit further. Big pantograph wipers, big flybridge on this one as well. We'll go up there and have a look. And you can see back here now how this drop balcony works. And yes, obviously you can stand on the glass. There we go. Fantastic. That one's controlled by a little button here, or 3 buttons to be precise, with the activation button and then the up and down, and obviously works in exactly the same way. The only thing you do need to do is take these rails out, obviously before you fold it up for obvious reasons. You can see how wide this door opens. Look at this. That's fantastic. Okay, let's head on up. A lot of lighting up through here. In fact, you can see it as well down along here. You've got pin lights all along the deck there, which is rather nice. Let's go up to the top. Again, lighting down underneath here. And you can change the colour. Here we go, the ambience from white to blue. Depending on whether you're looking for the sort of the vodka bar look or not. Bar area is here. Of course, we've got the bar area on the back as well, so you might choose whether or not to have this. I think it's an option. But yeah, barbecue in there again. Sink is underneath this one. There we go. Just lift up the sink bit, the tap bit, rather. And then fridge underneath, and that one's a bit of storage. Like so. Seating up around the helm. And this seat again folds back like we saw on the other ones, so that you can do that with and vastly increase the size of this. Helm position here, engine controls, trim tab controls, multifunction display, bow thruster, all the usual kind of stuff, and of course a mega view. Fantastic. I want to show you this table, because this table is quite clever. So as it is at the minute, you've got a perfectly nice table around there, but you can make this a load bigger. Watch this. So that can slide out, that can drop across, that can slide out, that can drop across, and now we can have a feast, can't we? Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. You could put some director chairs on this side. What'd you get around there? 6, 7, 8 people, maybe more. Better squeeze in a bit. This you can drop down, and again that's designed to be strong enough that you can stand on that. You wouldn't want to particularly, but just from a safety point of view, you don't have to worry about going through it. But if you were putting chairs around here, obviously that would be a sensible thing to do, wouldn't it? There we go. And then this one doesn't have it, but you've had the radar, it will sit on the top there, and these are for satellite domes if you have them as well. So the mouldings and everything's already there for it. Nav lights, etc. Brilliant. I'm going to leave that open, it'll dry a bit. It was raining last night, that's why some of this is still a little bit wet. Fantastic. Welcome to Southampton Boat Show. Let's go and have a look at the engines. So we're back down here. And this time we are going this way. There we go. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so if we head back first of all, there's a massive storage area down here. The canopies are down here at the minute, as you can see. Generator lives down here. We've got access to the stern gear, so tops of the rudders, that kind of thing. Fire system is down here as well. Batteries are down here. And that, I think, is the air conditioning system, if I remember rightly. And if I spin myself all the way around, there we go, fuel tanks and engines. These are on shaft drive. So the engines are well forward, and then you can see the shafts coming out the back. So they're not V-drives, they're just conventional shaft drive. Gearboxes here, shafts out, and propellers obviously, and rudders. There are a pair of D6 440s, Volvo Penta, 440 horsepower, giving the boat a high 20s. I think it's about 28 knots, if I remember rightly. Cruising there for 20, towards 25, something like that. And range, this type of boat, you're normally looking at sort of 200 to 250 miles. But there is an option, if you wish, to have IPS as an alternative. I think they're the IPS 650s, and if my memory serves me correctly, I think they're 480 horsepower, so a bit more powerful, a bit more efficient, pushing the speed up past 30 knots apparently. Battery switches are down here. Also, you can see some of the Victron battery management systems, that sort of thing, that's down here as well. And as I say, fuel tanks outboard. There we go. Right, let's limbo back up out of here. There we go. We'll drop that one back down. And I think we'll stroll back round this way. Come back onto the foredeck, shall we? There we go. And that, my friends, is the new Galeon 440 Fly. Massive thanks to Argo Yachting. They organised this tour. I'll put a link to those guys in the description. Massive thanks as ever to you for watching it. Let me know what you think of that fine ship, and we will catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.